Hey, everybody. Welcome to Banter, the sports podcast. And welcome, Trent. We got one more weekend of college hoops.
And so there were four.
Yes. So we're going to dive into our Final Four here. We'll talk a little bit about Sweet 16 Elite 8 games. Any surprises that kind of stuck out? There was some good basketball games for sure. So we're going to talk through the Final Four stuff. We'll give our picks. We'll go into championship stuff. And then we'll just kind of briefly touch on a little bit of baseball stuff at the end here. So Trey's out, had some work and stuff to do. So just got the two hosts tonight, Trent and Tyler. So welcome to everyone.
Hey, Tyler, you know what they say, cream rises to the crop top, man.
It's true. It's true.
Glad to be on with you here tonight.
Yeah.
Start today.
All right. So let's just kind of look back a little bit. I mean, obviously, I feel like this was like eons ago. Sweet 16 Elite. Dude, doesn't it feel like it was like forever ago?
It's that's like the weird thing about the tournament, though, is like you go from being like just sensory overload game after game after game all day, 2 days, and then even that first, Saturday, Sunday weekend, it's still like, all right, decent amount of games. Granted, they start them at such weird freaking times, but now it's like, please get there. Please get there. Especially if you have a dog in the fight, which it feels like a long time since I've had a dog in the fight of any major sport. But
yeah,
Duke's got a chance, but we'll see.
They do. I mean, you won by 20 there over a good Bama team, but
it is the weirdest feeling, though. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm just like I'm too vested as a fan. Like, one, I don't talk any smack other than like jokingly with you, obviously, from time to time.
No.
But like, it is stressful when your teams make it that far. And then it's like, oh man, I wish I didn't feel this way. But it's like, well, if you don't, that means they're out, right?
Right. Yep.
So it's a really, really weird life as a fan, because you sometimes feel like you are a part of it. But
yeah, I know my son Owen definitely felt like he was a part of it against Texas Tech, which we'll talk about here in a second. But Trent, any surprises that really kind of stuck out from you? Sweet 16 or even Elite 8 games that really were kind of like, oh shit, with some competition. Because like I said, there was a lot of good games there. A couple of games could have went either way.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about, I think I was most surprised yet again. I was surprised with Purdue. I did not. I think everybody was thinking Houston was just going to wipe the floor with them. I believe the spread got up to like, wasn't it 9.5 at one point?
I believe it was, yeah.
I think they were 9.5 points in favor. And I'm not going to lie, the refs sucked in the Sweet 16. And they almost screwed Duke over, but they screwed Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
When that dude drove, he pushed off. That was an offensive foul. They should have, I think, if not Purdue winning, I think it should have been going to overtime, to be honest with you. So Purdue was my I would say my good surprise. And then I guess a good surprise. I would also say what Duke did to Alabama. I felt like that was a statement game, because of how much shit I kind of called him out last episode. I said I kind of want that matchup. I know Alabama was the better team after setting the record of 3-pointers made in the tournament history.
Dude, 25 for 55, correct?
Something like that. Like
it was close to 50%. It was insane.
So they said Alabama could have made no 2-pointers in the second half and still won that game.
So free throws and threes.
Yep. Free throws and threes, they would have won that game. So I liked the statement from an ACC perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I liked what I saw there, because you know what, Nate Oates is the one that's like, well, we had played this many top teams all year, and it's like, okay, great, but like you've got to be playing your best when it's most important, and
yeah. I think the fact that they were even able to only put up 65 after going 90, 80, 113, and then all of a sudden, you run into a Duke team. Don't get me wrong, Duke's playing really great basketball, but that is also, I believe, was giving up the most points defensively. So I'm saying, I don't know if it's just in the tournament teams, but they've been giving up some of the most points. Now they've also been scoring in boatloads, which has helped. But then you sit there and you hold a team like an Alabama who can score in boatloads too. I think Alabama was top scoring team, I think, this season in the regular season.
Yeah, and in the tournament.
Right. So to hold them to 65 points was definitely, I mean, I'm going to give the credit there to Shire there for having an excellent game plan, because they literally, it got to the point where it was like, let's just force up threes. Let's just do what we do, all season long. And it just was not working, So defensively, Shire, I think, put a good game plan together in that game. But I think surprising to me, all right, was the meltdown madness that Arkansas was against Texas Tech in the Sweet 16. Kudos to Texas Tech, going on to the next round, and I'll tell you what, they really put up a fight against Florida.
They blew it.
Blew it. Yeah, it was kind of like, hey, Arkansas blew it against us, and then we just blew it against Florida. But I think a surprise for me was Tennessee beating Kentucky by 13 points, right? And then coming in against Houston. Now, don't get me wrong, Houston's a great defensive team, but Tennessee looked like they forgot how to play basketball, especially in the first half. Or I was like, what is going on here? I mean, it was a night and day difference in that Tennessee team for the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight, and I'm kind of surprised that, I know it's hard to beat a team 3 times, in a season. That's what Kentucky would have had to do, but like that one surprised me a little bit, was that Tennessee actually was able to beat Kentucky, and obviously Texas Tech. But I don't know. And just to kind of touch on one other game here too before we move into some picks and stuff, but Ole Miss against MSU, Chris Beard definitely had the boys playing all season long. I know that there's been some obviously big coaching changes with Buzz Williams going to
Maryland.
Sorry, to Maryland, yes. And which, leaves to question, who's going to take the A&M job. I had seen, or I had predicted personally, that Chris Beard might be a name that floated around, but that also got denied by him yesterday, or 2 days ago. I'm sorry. Now I'm also seeing, though, the Texas Tech coach could be making the move to A&M, but which kind of, I don't know. What do you think? I mean, that would surprise me, because I feel like he's got a good thing going, but A&M's got a shitload of money.
That's the only thing, though, is the money there. And I know money talks, right? But I just feel like Texas Tech, I mean, am I wrong in saying in at least, I would say, the past decade, if not 2, Texas Tech has been the better basketball program than Texas A&M?
I agree 100%, because was it Grant McCaslin? I'm sorry, I couldn't think of his name. He initially started at North Texas, right?
Yep. He had a hell of a journey. Let's just put it that way. He was
right. No, I'm saying his last school before getting to Texas Tech was was North Texas. I don't know. I'd be kind of surprised to see if he did leave. But again, like you just said, money talks. It's like, what are you going to do? I don't know. And then to go from North Texas to Texas Tech to Texas A&M, I mean, who knows what happens next? Is he now next in line to take over Texas? I don't know.
I know we have a good friend, Steve Fast Breaks, that is a Texas fan, but I did not like that hire at all. I don't think so, man. I mean, I could be completely wrong. There's some about him that just, I don't know. I'm not really sold. I'm not sold on him. I know he had some success at Arizona, went back to Xavier after he's kind of got them back to the tournament, but I don't know. I don't know if he's the guy. I mean, I think he's going to be better than what was there. A little circle glasses guy, but can't even think of his name. But anyway, yeah, I hope that that's not the case for Texas Tech. Like
I'll tell
I
you one
hope
other
it
thing.
doesn't go.
Allegedly, Sean Miller's kind of a slime ball.
You mentioned that before about him. Yeah.
So it's just I don't know. I mean, got a pretty big boosters with Texas. So if you can get slimy with it, there's a
The
school to do it
biggest.
because there's a lot of a lot of hidden gateways, if you will. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But A&M, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. That's the biggest name out there right now. Biggest team out there. The other name that was floated by, I was having a conversation the other day with a coworker, was Cronin from UCLA. Could he be the one to take over A&M? Now,
I don't.
I've also seen that his name hasn't really surfaced a whole lot with it, but
I think he stays. He just got a really big transfer in. I'll be honest with you, man. I look at some of these. Look at a hot team, maybe in the NIT. Like, does UC Irvine's coach make a switch? Like,
because UC was it San Diego, right?
he's New Mexico now. Yep.
Right. Which, I don't know. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Could definitely see that happen.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. Interesting to see what happens with A&M because it's the premier conference. Which let's backtrack to that. Buzz Williams, like, what the hell? Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think he leaves before or as expectations now get too high. Like, I think he's afraid of high expectations. Like, okay, Marquette really they were good. Left.
Yeah.
Went to Virginia Tech. Had Virginia Tech competitive in the ACC year in year out.
Mm-hmm.
Left. Right. Then he goes to A&M. A&M's they're top 10 for the majority of the season until the very end of the year when they hit a little schneid. Got it right. Yeah. But and then they make it what? How far did they make it this year? Was it Sweet 16 just about? Or so it's like, I don't know. It's a really weird. So it's like when you hire him, are you okay with saying like are these schools not looking for a lifer? Like I look at the Blue Bloods and they're looking for somebody that's going to stay.
Yeah.
Like you really think that, but hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about the 4-tie if you are.
Real quick though, there is some sort of connection though with him in Maryland though to the DMV area, that Washington, Maryland, Baltimore area. I don't remember what the connection is. Buzz Williams there.
I know what it is. It's only about an hour and a half away from Applebee's in Hershey.
That's what when you said he doesn't like when pressure, and all that stuff. I was like, oh yeah, kind of like when a fan wants to get a picture with you at Applebee's. It's pressure. Yeah, he's getting them crunchy crab cakes. All right. Yeah.
Shrimp. He's
Maryland. Maryland. Yeah, come on.
Gotcha. See what you did there.
All right. So we got on Saturday, we have Auburn at Florida, which I believe is the 6:00 game.
Yep.
Oh man. So both SEC schools are playing, obviously. So that means there's only going to be one SEC team left.
Let me. Can I give a little background before we start, statistics wise?
Yep. Go ahead.
So a lot of credit to the SEC having 4 of the Elite 8 teams, but I'd just like to keep in mind, don't forget the ACC has done very similar, if not better, in years past. So please just keep that in mind. I believe it was 2016. ACC had 7 bids and did the exact same thing. They had 4 of the 8, so half the amount of bids, and the ACC got 4 teams to the Elite 8. Just last year, ACC only had 5 bids, and they got 3 teams into the Elite 8. So just want to put that out there. So, yeah, good job, SEC, for getting a lot of teams in the Elite 8, 2 in the Final 4. But you also did have 14 bids, which is the most. So, don't get me wrong, conference is good. These 2 teams all 4 teams. Put this into perspective right now. All 4 teams combined have 135 and 16 record.
Whew.
Okay. 135-16 record. According to Ken Palm rankings, all-time best rankings. All right. Duke, this year's Houston team, this year's Florida team, and this year's Auburn team. They are all top 10 in the all-time Ken Palm rankings, offensive,
Wow.
defensively, overall. So that is like we are getting, as much people want to complain about chalk. Whoever comes out on top, this is probably the most crazy earned national championship that could ever be won, because there was only one other time, 2008, when all ones were in it, and it just so happened to also be in San Antonio, which is really weird. But
It's
I
that
mean,
matrix that we live in.
dude, I mean, their rankings wise,
Simulation.
yeah, both all four teams are top 10 in offense and defense.
Yeah.
Like it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Top 10 in both those categories. So I just want to kind of throw that out there. But SEC matchup, it is 2.5 right now. 2.5 is the spread, which
favoring
to me,
Florida.
yeah. Are you saying fishy at all? Like, are you a little worried here about that line? Because that is small, in my opinion.
Well, hold on a second. So you're saying that Florida should be favored more?
I was expecting anywhere from a 4.5, 5.5 point spread there for that.
Favoring who?
Florida.
Really?
Yes. After what Florida did in the SEC tournament, and they have a win, I believe, in the jungle in Auburn, against them, and they think they put up, what was it, 90-81 was their first matchup. So
Yeah.
I was surprised with how highly touted Florida was going into the tournament. I was surprised it wasn't a bigger spread, which makes me wonder if Auburn has gotten their groove back, because they have been pretty damn, how do I put it? But
Pretty
I don't know.
dominant, but
Pretty dominant, yeah.
the Michigan State game was kind of tight. The Michigan game was tight for a little bit. I don't know. I'm not sold on Auburn. I'm still going to favor Florida. I think 2.5. I think that's without a doubt putting money on 2.5 for Florida.
I think that's what they want.
I think it's a steal. I think it's a steal. No, because you got to think about this though. I mean, Auburn was the number 1 overall seed, right? I believe
Debatable.
they finished. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with that point at all. But they were the number 1 overall seed. They also, all right, I believe, finished the year in first, regardless of losing like 3 of the last like 5. Right? Am I right?
They won the regular season.
Right.
They won the regular season SEC.
Correct. So yeah, overall, not the tournament though.
No.
I think Florida is number 1. I think Florida's battle tested, because to actually make it out of the West, which I feel like was probably one of the more challenging brackets in my opinion. I think the fact that they've been battle tested now against UConn, they kind of had their way with Maryland, even though Maryland stuck around in the beginning, and then obviously to make the comeback that you did against Texas Tech, because man, they got some guys. I'm very impressed with some of the players on Maryland, on Florida. At this point in time, I mean, freaking Clayton, all right, gets it in the lane, takes 3 dribbles out, shoots a fadeaway 3, drains it. Like if that ball did not go in, that game goes to Texas Tech, in my opinion.
Dude, they're up 10. They were down 10 with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left.
Exactly, that's my point.
It was
Clayton took the game over, man. Clayton took the game over.
And the kid from Pennsylvania, New Oxford, he had 2 huge threes.
Yeah. Yep.
How?
It's like HAUGH. How?
Yeah.
How?
Huff.
I think it's how. It's not Huff. Huff. I don't know.
Haga.
So this is where you need Trey to try to pronounce it.
Yeah.
He'll pull
Or
up.
get
Remember
his
the Google Translate shit?
little weird robots.
Yeah. So
I see what you're saying. I am I don't know. Here's the thing. If Bruce Pearl and I guess this is kind of what I wanted to ask you before we even make our pick here. Out of the four teams, who has the most pressure to win? Because my opinion, I think it's Bruce Pearl.
okay. So yes, I think Bruce Pearl has the most pressure, but I think Duke has the most pressure as to being the team that has been the most dominant.
But okay, so you say that, and this is what makes me laugh, is it's funny how the narrative has completely changed on Duke from beginning, even throughout the whole season, was too young, soft schedule, overrated, right?
Yeah, but even you said yourself,
Because
Duke is Duke.
Duke's reputation, Duke is Duke. But when it came to everything this year, is Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, Bama. Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, Bama. Those are the four teams that just keep beating each other at the very top. So, in my opinion, with a team that is averaging close to 25 years old, I think if Bruce Pearl doesn't win it with this group, I think it's a bad look. And if he doesn't beat the kid that he hired and gave his first ever college basketball job, who's the opposing head coach, to me, I think Bruce Pearl is, and he's in the same boat with not the same exact boat, but it's Auburn's second ever Final Four. I was going to say the similar boat to Tennessee, who's never made a Final Four, but like he's in a similar boat in the sense of like they have to do it. Now, don't get me wrong, Duke having Cooper Flag is why most people would say there's pressure, right? Because you have a potential generational talent, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I look at it right now, and don't get me wrong, like somehow Duke's the favorite all of a sudden. Granted, they've won in pretty dominant fashion, but I guess it's kind of like then I hope all these people are eating their words because they shit on the ACC and how weak their schedule was, but to win like 5 straight games by 30 plus points was kind of sending a message at some point in the season. Like,
Absolutely.
yes, do I still think Duke has a chance to win it all? Yes, but when I see these hypothetical lines that books put out there, it kind of frustrates me because I'm like, you guys were all over Florida and Auburn all season, and now you want to sit there and make them an underdog on the book. Like that blows my mind to me. I don't know, because once again, everything was about getting older. Everything about college basketball past how many years now is get older, don't get younger. And Duke is not. They do not follow that what's the word? That trend, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like they're still going to recruit the top guys, and they're going to get and but don't get me wrong, we have a couple experienced guys, but 2 of Duke's best players should be seniors in high school, Cooper Flag and Malawash. Right. They reclassed to come there. So
could you also agree that John Shire has like transformed into Coach K? Dude, if you listen to his interviews, he's so like quiet and mousy, just like Coach K always was.
Can I just say that and this is where I say Duke is Duke. They do recruit a certain style of athlete and person. I mean that might sound stuck up and snobby, and that's why Duke gets all the hate. But they do have a standard, and I think Coach K, how do I put it? He respects the game, and I think he always, when he refers to the Final Four as the Mecca, that's where you realize you don't take it for granted, right? Where when you've got a coach that just won back-to-back championships, mouthing off the fans saying, "I got 2 rings,"
I'm the best in business.
Like as much as like Coach K is not going to do that. Roy Williams would have never done that. No.
Bill Self wouldn't do that.
I was gonna say I hate Bill Self, but Bill Self would never freaking do that.
I
So
think
like,
Calipari would.
I don't even know, Ty. I don't
I'm,
know.
I'm just kidding. I just
I was
hate
gonna say
Calipari.
I think Hurley has taken the reins right now for a lot of people to be like, but like that's what I'm trying to get at is, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like it is, but even I know this is not a Duke show, but I look at it and say like this is where as much as your fan base at Carolina and other pundits around the world hated that Coach K did that like last season type deal, it was the best move.
Mm-hmm.
It was the best move to allow Shire to be there, recruit, start building everything behind closed doors while still being an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think it was a good transition. Like, is he going to have a hiccup year or two here? I'm sure. I'm sure of it. But it's like it looks like they haven't really missed a step at this point.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
because to lose Coach K and to be Elite Eight and now Final Four and have 2 ACC tournament championships after he's got, like, that's good. Like, it now doesn't mean anything if you don't win a national championship, in my opinion. But
yeah, Trent. He's what, his third year?
yeah, he's 37, but
Like, shit, he's younger than I am.
he does have a style of handling the media in a very similar fashion.
Dude, it's like I watch the interviews and I laugh because I'm like, oh, this is Coach K. This is kind of completely aside, but another name that I just was watching tonight. What about Johnny Dawkins for A&M?
Yeah, I could see that. I just
So another Duke guy. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I thought if anything, it might have been Chris Collins from Northwestern, but he just signed an extension because there was even rumor of him going to Maryland. But
okay, all right. Let's go picks here. We'll go picks and bets. So Auburn, Florida. What is your bet? Oh, wait, hold on a second, Trent.
Yeah.
Bearded best bets.
There we go.
There it is.
So tell me what your bet is for Florida Auburn.
Florida Auburn. My best bet. Sorry, I'm pulling my stuff up right now that I have. There we go. I like for Florida Auburn. I like over 158.5 is what I got earlier in the week.
Okay. So you like the total over 158.5. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I told you earlier I like this spread of 2.5. I think it's actually I don't know. I think it's kind of a steal for Florida in my opinion, but I'm going to go with a best bet for me here is a Florida team total points, which is 81.5. You can get that for -110 right now, and I've had pretty decent success with betting Florida's team totals throughout the tournament so far. So that's my best bet for that. But I am going Florida to win. I say Florida wins by 5.
I got Auburn winning this. I think we got Auburn. I think Auburn they're starting to defend again at the right time, and I think their guards are just absolutely on fire.
Okay. So let me ask you this question though: is who do you want to face as a Duke fan? Who do you want to face?
Oh God, here's what's gone through my mind. If it's Duke, Florida, and Duke wins, I feel bad for my nephew.
Yeah,
right? Because I know then
about that whole thing.
But on the flip side, I know he's young, but he is one of the worst winners there is. So
I will say this: we have already talked about this, though.
Yeah, he's one of the worst winners. So I'll be honest with you. I personally, I know I'm picking Auburn. I think it'd be better for basketball if you get the Duke Florida matchup. I just think it'd be cool because I think pre-tournament, I think Florida was the team Florida was the
I mean,
top
every
dog,
expert picked them. Yeah.
top dog of the entire SEC tournament and all that. So, um,
So who do you want to see?
I okay, from a fan appreciation perspective,
No.
Florida.
Who do you want to face that your Blue Devils have a better chance to win? That's what I want to hear.
Better chance
Who
to
do you
win.
feel more? Who do you feel more confident against?
Auburn.
Okay, that's all I needed. All right, let's move over to Duke
Why?
Houston.
Why? Why do you need that so bad?
I didn't need it. I just want to hear,
No.
I know better for basketball, this, that. Like, you're a fan. Who the hell do you want to play? Because you think your team is better than them.
I think Florida's size matches up better with Duke.
I'd agree with that.
Florida's size. Duke's the tallest team in the nation, but
yeah,
I think Florida's size.
All right, so let's jump over to the other side here. So you're saying that you're picking Auburn. All right, so you have Auburn, and then you got Duke Houston. Let's start with what's your best bet?
My best bet is, once again, I think it's going to be over. Over 135.5. This game comes down to is Houston is going to make it a bloodbath, and they have to. Houston #1 defense ranking on KenPom. Duke #1 offense ranking on KenPom. So it's like one of those things. I don't know if it's going to work out like football, where defense usually takes over and wins the championship, right? That's the thing. But I think Duke, if Duke's going to win, which I do believe they can, and I think they will, they're going to control the pace more. And I think Houston's going to have to score with Duke. They're going to have to score with Duke, and therefore Duke being the top. I don't know if they're the top. They're probably the top scoring offense remaining in the tournament right now. Now that Alabama's out, but I think that's going to be that's the reason it goes over.
All right, so the over, and then obviously your pick is Duke, correct?
Yeah, I got Duke to win.
Okay, so you got Duke and Auburn. All right, I also, Trent, I love the over in this in terms of a bet, but just for spirit of being a little bit different. I'm also looking at a team total here for Duke. The fact that they have Duke at 70.5, I think is a little bit absurd. I know that Houston's defense is scary good, but I'm going to go with over 70.5 for Duke team total, which is -120 right now, DraftKings.
Damn, what is Houston's team total? That's scary that they have them that low.
65.5.
Whew.
But I mean, think about it, Trent. But think about it. Houston scored 78, 81, 62, and 69. So it's been getting a lot less, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Size here again is going to be a factor. The tallest guys for Houston are 6'8".
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So my winner here is Duke. I got Duke, Florida, and I'm going to stick with. Now, granted, I've told you I have drafted Duke because I thought they had a better and easier bracket to go through, but I picked Florida to win my national championship. So I'm gonna stick with my national championship. I'm gonna stick with Florida. I think Duke, Florida would be a hell of a game. So, and I also agree with you with Owen being a Florida fan and you being a Duke fan. Like, I've already thought about that. Yeah. Said I told my wife, I said, we are not watching it with Trent, and we will not watch it with Dad either.
No. The sad thing is for kids his age, you might have to let them go to school late the next day with how freaking late they tip off on a Monday.
Yeah, well,
it's like 9 o'clock. Like,
and it sucks because he has been so close with, take the 49ers. 49ers losing to the Chiefs 2 years ago. It was like we were so close to, now I'm not a Florida fan, obviously, but like both us as Niner fans, it was like, oh my God, we were so damn close to a championship. And it's like, I could see that in his eyes the other night when they were playing Texas Tech. And I was like, oh God, like, I really don't want to see him be upset. It's just, you just feel bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to go Florida. Florida wins it still, but I think it's Florida Duke. You going Duke wins it?
Yeah.
All right. It's gonna be a hell of a, like you said, hell of a Final Four here. So,
Yep.
All right. Anything else?
Just one last shout out. One last shout out to because I'm getting my next time we record. That's it for what's it called?
Oops.
College basketball, and we're just baseball. I just want to make sure everyone's aware. You can talk about most powerful Power Four conferences, weakest or whatnot, but the ACC is the only conference that has put a team in the Final Four in each of the past 4 tournaments. So suck it. All right. ACC greater than, you name it. Okay.
Greater than. Yep.
Yep.
There you go. All right. Very cool. Good. Thank you. That was a good way to end it for the season. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So real quick, switch gears a little bit here. All right. We're just going to briefly touch on some baseball because I know baseball is going to be the bread and butter here for the next couple of months, besides our draft episode, which I'll give a little sneak peek at the end here. But yeah, so we got some baseball stuff here quickly to talk about. Do you want to talk your betting strategy wise? I'll kind of quickly just touch on mine, and then any surprises so far in the season that we'll just kind of touch on some teams overall. So
okay, I'll save my surprise until you're done with your betting trend stuff. I am when it comes to baseball. I bet Orioles everything. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, no. The one thing I look at in baseball and what can make it, and when you're maybe you don't dabble as much in wagering on baseball, is there are a ton of different factors that can affect all the different types of bets. More than, in my opinion, more than any other sport, especially when it comes to pitching, because you have absolute big name starters that go nowadays only pitch about 5-6 innings. And then you've got to be aware of, the bullpen. But the tricky thing is you don't know who in the bullpen is pitching. So when it comes to my wagers, I am a first 5 inning better. I bet total overall. I am typically on the unders for the first 5. So the ones that I like to target are big time pitching matchups. Even if it's a big time,
5.5, 6.5 runs.
Yeah, big time. Well, I will do. I'll take 4.5. I'll take under 4.
No, I know, but I'm saying if you get a 5.5
Yeah.
or 6.5, usually that's
Yeah. Or remember Mexico City that one year was like first 5 over 14.5 or 18. I'm like,
it was like 13.5, 14.5. You're right.
Easiest win of my life actually with that one. But yeah, so I'm a first 5 person. Now here's one thing that I will say is if it's like a stud pitching matchup, but it's a big time offense, I will not take that under. Like for example, upcoming this weekend, it's going to be like Dodgers Phillies. Like, no, even if it's if it's a both aces going against each other, no. Like I am going to avoid that.
Just wait, might change your mind.
But anyway,
because hold on, I got some breaking news real quick.
Okay.
Freddie Freeman from the Dodgers has been placed on the IL for slipping in the shower. Allegedly, Shohei Ohtani was walking around with a towel, slapping people with a towel.
It was at his home, Tyler.
I'm just kidding. I know. I said allegedly. I was just kidding.
Gosh. Is this bookie in jail? Let's just blame it on the bookie that he had. No,
I'm just kidding.
I will. Yeah. So major offensive, like betting right now, especially right now, the Yankees and their torpedo, whatever you want to call them, things. Those are just ones that I'll avoid at all costs. I do enjoy. I'm a team total person as well. And once again, that's another part of pay attention to the starting pitching, but also look at the bullpen and what they typically give up. So you can sometimes, for me, I just feel like a lot of teams score the runs later, and that's because they pull the starters out. Now I know doesn't always hold true, but that's why we bet on baseball, or that's why it's a wager in the first place. But yeah, I'm a first 5 guy. team totals guy, and when it comes down to it, rarely ever make it a full pick. But I love putting a little no run first inning out there.
Mm-hmm.
Bet.
Well, a little
So
nerfy.
I dabble. I will say, new for me this year is home runs. And of the what? How many total games? About like 8 games teams have played now,
Mm-hmm.
right? Of
Yeah.
the 8 games, I usually place anywhere from like 2 to 3 guys, and it's usually I'm divvying up some units here, so it's like, and I'm at least hitting 1 to 2,
Mm-hmm.
1 to 2. Now I've gone 2 days with no winners at all, but I've always hit 1 or 2 so far. And with the money that you can get on return and no sweat on DraftKings,
Mm-hmm.
and look out for uh, some of the home run share and bonus bets
Mm-hmm.
on FanDuel.
Yep.
So
Yeah, so my betting strategy, I've been a K-prop guy now for what, 3 years. Last year specifically, I strictly only bet K-props, and I did track most of my bets. I was right around 50% for the year. Um, this year, I'm doing the same thing. I'm even pulling out percentages and everything else, to kind of see where we're at. It was also with teams. I'm tracking the over-unders, what they're being capped at. I'm tracking teams and total runs and stuff that teams are actually averaging against them, etc. Also looking at the sense of how much, where are they being capped, and also what are they getting, on average, just to kind of see things right now. So far, I've placed 24K prop bets. A lot of them, because it's early in the season, is me trying to find a rhythm with teams, seeing what guys are going to hit and everything. I will say that Old Faithful for the last 3 years, I feel like I say this every year, has been the Astros. Astros
yeah.
pitching, and it's Framber Valdez, it's Hunter Brown, it's I have found some comfort in the Houston Astros pitching rotation. So hit 2 in a row recently, made them official picks again because looking at some teams, looking at how things go. But yeah, trying to find a groove again this year. I found a little bit of a groove last year with Paul Skeens at one point, but Hunter Green's another guy that I look at for the Reds. I like to look at Joe Ryan from the Twins, Robbie Ray from the Giants, another team, another guy I look at. Um, Barrios from the Blue Jays, another guy, and then Freddie Peralta, I would say, from the Brewers. Those are some guys that I usually like to really kind of dig deep into in terms of K props. It sounded weird.
You like to dig deep into those guys, Ty? Like
Just
with their
weird. After I said it, I was like, that sounds fucking weird. But anyway, so
like to dig deep into those kind of guys.
I did. I said, I was like, that sounds really fucking weird. That's all right.
Sure you do.
So right now, official plays, I'm hitting 75% overall. Again, because I'm still trying to find a groove with everybody and what pitchers are going to work. Overall, I'm hitting 46% personally. So 75% official daily recipe plays, and 46% overall. So keep an eye out for that. Next time Trey's on, when we talk more baseball stuff, we'll definitely bring him on to kind of talk his betting strategy with baseball. But any surprises here team wise? Because I got one team, and if you don't mind, let me just start off by saying this. I apologize, Gotham Gambling, man. Your Braves, what the hell, dude? 0-7. They're being tagged as like one of the worst weeks to ever start a season in professional sports. So I apologize. I know it was your birthday week too. So 0-7. So I'm sorry, man. But it's early. If I'm the Braves, I'm not hitting the panic button yet. I mean, Brave, if you remember, I tagged the Braves as my team to be in the World Series against the Orioles. So I think they'll find their groove. They got to get the bats going. I mean, they're still right now, I think, the number 2 or 3 team in terms of gambling odds to win the World Series. I think they're still at plus 900. So I think they're tied for third or something. But yeah, Braves a big surprise for me in the NL, and I would say that the Orioles got to wake the fuck up in terms of, I know their pitching rotation has been a worry for a lot of people, and it's starting to become a 5-alarm fire. But we also need to bring freaking Gunner back. Gunner's got to get his ass up here and stop homering down with the Norfolk Tides. So
join the team last night.
there you go. So
Yep.
Let's go. And
Um,
I also did see Mountcastle's on the trade block, trying to make room for Kobe Mayo.
Yeah. All right.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I like Mountie, but my surprise is honestly it's one. I want to talk about your Braves comment with the 0-7.
0-7.
Here's always the
baseball
thing
right now.
Yeah, here's always the thing about that is it's kind of like remember the Marlins crazy oh my god, what a freaking ending to an NIT championship right there. That was brutal.
And he missed it. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. But anyway, that was nuts. You got to be careful because I know we'd say 162 game season, everything's fine, but you're in a division with the Phillies. And Phillies
and a strong Mets team.
Yeah. So and I know the Phillies schedule's a freaking joke, but they do go out west, I believe, and play the Dodgers. So it's pretty crazy. But the other team that I'm going to say is a surprise, which I think has been a disappointment the past 5 years with how much they pay for their talent, is the Padres.
Why are they a disappointment, Trent? They're 7-0.
No, I said surprise. I didn't say disappointment.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what do you mean? Like they're 7-0. They won 7 straight.
I'm saying they have been a disappointment the past 5 years.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, they're like around. Oh my gosh, that guy's gonna hate himself for the rest of his life. But
just use the backboard.
That's like you make that shot every day of the week. But man, that's killing me right now. I'm not even a fan of them, but I mean, I am a fan. But geez, yeah, I just think it's kind of a joke, though. I mean, I think MLB has let the NL become a complete joke because when it's all said and done, I'm sorry, nobody is beating the Dodgers in a 7-game series. Mark it down: 48 minutes, 8 seconds on the episode tonight on April 4th. This is when this will be published. I said nobody will beat the Braves in a 7-game series in the NL because it's ridiculous, man. It's an all-star team.
Dodgers. You said Braves.
Sorry, Dodgers. Yeah, Braves. Yeah, Dodgers. I'm sorry. So,
I know. We always tout the AL East as being the best division of baseball. Right now, currently, you're looking at the NL West. You got the Padres at 7-0, the Dodgers 8-0, the Giants are 5-1. Then you got the Diamondbacks at 4-3, and then you got the Rockies down there. But right now, the fact that you have the only two undefeated teams in baseball, 7-0, 8-0,
yeah,
and you got a 5-1 team, that's looking pretty nasty. But like I said, right now it's early. All right.
Yeah.
The only team though I know that can start terribly and still make the playoffs is the Houston Astros, right, Chad?
Yeah.
Remember that shit last year?
Oh yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, torpedo bats are making its way through the MLB. Let's play ball.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, man. Just looking forward to a Final Four weekend and Monday, I guess. But just got to soak it all in. I got a dog in the fight for the first time in a little while, and then the dog days of betting baseball until football season. However, can I say one thing I am looking forward to?
Yeah.
Is our major golf tournament picks. I always love that.
That's coming up too. That. Yep. Masters coming up. Yeah, you got a couple of and horse racing. Don't forget about that.
Oh yeah, that is your specialty.
Yep. Oh yeah. All right. So real quick, big reveal here. I know we've been kind of touting some things here on social media about, hey, releasing this. We've been working on things behind the scenes. So what we've actually been developing is a kind kind of a video game of some sort. So it's a simulation video game. Came up with the idea based on baseball stuff coming up. So what we are going to be releasing is something called Mascot Dash Mania, which is going to be a weekly mascot race. We have 5 mascots that are going to be racing. Each of them will be racing in a different city each week. So just to kind of give the background. So it's a simulated race, all AI based. There's different factors involved. If you eat a hot dog, you eat nachos, you get speed. If you slip on a drink, or if you slip on popcorn mess, things like that, that slows you down. So what we're going to be doing is putting the simulated race on our social media accounts. It's going to be put on X, Instagram, and TikTok. People will be encouraged to vote on who they think will win each week. I know today or last night we actually put out the 5 different mascots that'll be racing right now for the first 10 weeks. We're going to have voting and all that stuff to kind of see where people are at. We're going to keep track of scores. And then what's going to happen is that the winner is going to receive 12 points. Second place gets 7 points. Third is going to get 5. Fourth is going to get 2 points. And then last place is going to get 1 point. All right. So we're going to go a 10-week race or a 10-week 10-week tournament. Keep track of the total points. And then after 10 weeks, what will happen is that the mascot with the least amount of points is going to be relegated, meaning that they're going to be moved out of the tournament. And then what we will have is, as we kind of get closer to the end of the 10 weeks, we'll start to have some different mascot ideas, some names and things like that people will have a chance to vote on to replace the mascot that will be relegated. Only catch is that there is a bearded bear mascot, and that bearded bear, because he is the host mascot, as the logo of the Bearded Baker Banter and Bearded Baker Bets, he cannot be relegated. So if that happens and he's in last place, which let's hope he doesn't, then what will happen is the next lowest will actually be relegated. So check that out.
It's a fair rule.
So check that out. Like I said, it's kind of for fun, but we've been developing this video game behind the scenes, been using the Grok AI. I've personally been teaching myself Python code, so learned how to do it, put it together, and then just kind of put the ideas together. But just for fun, we're going to keep it going. But like I said, different city each week, and then people kind of start to get to vote on what city they want to see, and you'll be able to see the different graphics and stuff. We have different backgrounds and stuff that are involved, but it'll be about 40 to 45 second video that we're going to put out every Friday for people to watch the race, see who the winners are and everything like that. So we'll keep the voting going starting on Monday and go through Thursday. And then obviously Friday we'll release the race. So that's what we've been working on. Mascot Dash Mania, Bearded Baker Brothers production, new video game, simulation game. Check it out. So other than that, Trent, appreciate you coming on tonight. Trey will be back next week. We got our draft episode coming up. Let's do it. All right. Enjoy the Final Four. Enjoy the championship. And we will see you next week. Appreciate everybody listening.
Let's go, Duke.
See ya.